Let me say good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Good afternoon, Tobago. Good afternoon, Trinidad. Yours truly, Mr.X. Vern X Devore. Sitting in the hot seat this afternoon. I await the arrival of Isha. Well, she's running a little bit late. I as well had a little bit of a stick up today, so we apologize for the late start, but we are here. So get on it, get on the live, and let's share it up. Let's get ready to get inside the balance here on Street 919 FM. We are going to be here till 7 p.m. as the politics of the country continues to be the topic of conversation. We're going to open the phone lines for your calls. And I know Isha has something hot to bring for us today, so I'm looking forward to her arrival. Once she gets here on time, she should be able to bring it. So you have to stay tuned, get it up, share the live now. Today has the potential to be very, very, very hot. So again, apologies for our late arrival today, but it was unforced and unplanned, but we've had to really and truly take some time to step inside now, and we will be here as per usual until 7 p.m. So the numbers to call 342-0081, 342-0081. You could also get us on 466-5391. That's 466-5391. We're going to take your live calls right here on Street 919 FM inside the balance, people. So today, I was doing a lot of real research with respect to manifestos, promises, election campaigning, the conversation that really matters when it comes to governing a country. And I managed to come across the manifesto for the PNM for 2010, as well as their 2015 manifesto. And I did manage to also find UNC 2020 to 2030 promise, I believe, or 2020 to 2025 plan. That is also in my folder this afternoon, so we're going to take a look at some of those things. But before we do that, I'd be interested to hear from you, Trinidad and Tobago. What do you feel, what do you think, and what do you regard as the major areas of concern for you in this election? What matters to you? We've talked about so many things throughout the politics and the political seasons that it's been based on things that I believe do not matter in most cases. A lot of people mention so many little things that you can see right in front of your face. But I'm really interested to find out, on what do you vote? What it is you are looking for from a political party, from an election promise, from potential to get some new, improvements in your community. What development are you really and truly looking forward to, especially in this upcoming election? Do you have anything that you are desirous of having? What is your election focus? What's going to be that major issue that's going to drive you to vote for your particular party? Which party, may have said some things that have stood out to you? A number of things have come out. We'll go through a little bit in detail what the UNC have said, what the PNM has promised to deliver, what they've said they would have delivered back in 2015, and 5 years later, 4 years and some months, 9-10 months later, what has been delivered up to election day 2020. We're talking about deliverables. What are you looking for? What are you interested to see? That's the first port of call. What are you looking forward to? What would you like to hear from your politicians? What would you like to be given to you and your community in your area for this upcoming 2020 election? Very interesting to hear what you have to say on that. We go straight to the lines at 342-0081. First caller, good afternoon, you're live. Greetings, good afternoon.
All right, first thing first. I don't want our Prime Minister to go to the IMF for nothing. That is mayhem.
That's the first thing you want to make sure that we're not
I want to make sure we don't have to go to the IMF for nothing.
Right.
Apart from that, I want a hold on the crime. Crime situation, I want a hold on that. But I would say this, government come, government go. Unless the people themselves don't change their mentality and the way they think, no government come here will be able to take a hold on that crime. And I'm challenging here because from 2010 come up, all the manifesto was presented. everybody talk about below crime.
Mm-hmm.
But unless we as a people change the way we think, take what I'm telling you, none of them can get a hold of that. Because I join our friends, I know one can tell you if I want to kill somebody just now. So you can do what you want. You can have all the technology, you can have all the informants, you can have what you want. You can't get a hold of that. So we have to do whosoever government come in, that will reform the mind of the people. I don't know how they're doing that.
Well, that's what I'm now about to ask you. Now about to ask you then, with governments being so, based on what you're saying, then governments are bold-faced and brazen to say that they could address the crime situation when in truth and in fact it's an individual issue. Is that what you're saying? Or do you see they have some responsibility?
But they have to come up now with some form of plan and how they could go about getting into the minds of the people or linking with the people, partnering with the people somehow to see if we can transform. And listen, this, I will tell people, your friend is a bandit. My cousin is a bandit. We know that. What are we doing about that? We're not doing nothing. So it started us too. It started us. It started everybody as a people. Unless we police one another into doing what is right, we clear say about it who government comes. But I don't want the government to promise me things, and when they come in,
they can't deliver. That's why I'm saying it. Why you putting crime on it if you can't deliver? So let's take crime out of the equation for now. So you're talking about international stability, monetary-wise. Anything else you want to mention before you go?
They talk about diversification. Everybody talk about it. But I've seen some government try to handle it and never get the support from the opposition. So where that is concerned, I would like the opposition not to play tit for tat with seeing about the people's lives as individuals, where that is concerned.
All right.
Because join our front this. When Dr. Oli was in opposition, he supported over 60% of the ventures of the then government. And I vote for Kamala in 2010. But you go tell me Dr. Oli come in, or they can't support one initiative, something definitely wrong. Come on with him.
All right. Agreed. Thank you very much. Make some room for somebody else. You're talking about what it is you're looking for out of this election in particular. What area of concern is one of your most important? Good afternoon, you're live. Hello, good afternoon. Caller? All right, not ready. So, 466-5391. 466-5391. That's our mobile number. Call us on Digicel as well at 342-0081. What particular issue, what area of interest do you have and you want to treat with in this upcoming election? What you want to really hear from them? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. You're live.
Good afternoon. What I want to see is some sober people. You hear me?
Yes, I hear you. That's it?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I want to see some sober people in the parliament.
Sober people in the parliament. All right, no problem. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to take them quick and come in, all right? Sorry about that, caller. I missed you. Give us a call back, 466-5391 or 342-0081. Trinidad and Tobago election is nigh. 10th of August, it's been called. What are your areas of concern? You are live. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, brother. What's going on?
Yes, I did. After God. My main of what I want to see is that Kamala Prasad-Bissessar and the UNC do not put their hands on this country. Because if they do put their hand on this country, Henna, we are out for trouble. Henna, I telling you, to be dying here like flies, huh? Because you hear the points that they bring to us earlier. Open the border. Open the shops on them, the bars on them. So that alone is disaster. Because when men start to drink and men start to get on, you know drunk men that get on. This one holding that one, that one holding that one, that one talking, this one face and all kind. That is madness.
Yeah.
That is total madness. And the IMF, let's just keep away from the IMF because I know. I passed through the IMF twice. Twice we went through the IMF. And it's not easy. Pensioners, no money. Because you know what the IMF will tell you? When you're young, what did you do?
To build yourself.
You understand?
All right. Thank you very much.
You didn't set aside for when you get old. all the disabled. They don't care about the disabled. It is a dangerous spot we'll be in if we ever go to the IMF.
All right.
The Trinidadians don't know the world economy collapse, you know.
Yeah.
The world economy collapse. Because just imagine government have to pay you to stay home. Government have to pay rent to stay home. And when they're getting on Dr. Rowley, it hurt my heart. Or like those unions. I'll never forget on the Chambers. Chambers offered those unions 6%. And the union mislead the population and tell them, vote for Robinson. Robinson going to give them 10%. When Robinson come in, Robinson take away 10%.
Take all.
Yeah. And he put on back 15%. So your dollar come to 85 cents with your dollar. What he was spending. I passed through that.
All right.
Have a blessed evening.
Have a blessed one. Thank you very much. International line, I see you calling. You can call us back internationally if you're trying to get through and you're on. Remember, the Facebook page is up. You can share it. Make sure and put it out there. We are having room for everybody today. What's your area of concern? What are you really looking for out of this election? You alive?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr.X.
Yes, my brother. How are you?
Mr. Tabakit. Now, I love questions like this. It's a pertinent question you ask, and I'll tell you why. The question you ask, it deals to the heart of governance. And I love this kind of challenge. So I will get into it because it's not dealing with the nasty politics, but it deals with the governance structure. So what I would like to see from any party that forms the government, what I want is a government that to be people-centered, labor-driven, labor-oriented, and where the goods and services is reached down to the people. And when I say goods and services, what we're looking at is the wealth of the nation. We also have to look at the working poor. It's critical. So then what we have to look at then is infrastructure. We have to look at healthcare. It's critical to look at healthcare, agriculture. Now, one of the things you realize with this COVID-19 corona, you realize where every country now in terms of agriculture, because when we look at our country in terms of we does not export. So when we look at import in terms of our food basket, so one of the areas that any government come there, they would have to focus on agriculture. Because to me, that will be the new black gold agriculture. So in focusing in these areas, but one of the things I want to go back in terms of a labor-oriented government, people-centered, people-driven. You see, we could go all along the line, and you are correct, about tit for tat. But the meaningful thing, how then, and another area that I want to look at is rural community. For instance, in the suburb like Labantil, Sealos, we want to bring the government closer to the people. And when I say closer to the people, it's time that we stop the big bourgeois government. Yeah? And when I say the big bourgeois government, when now MPs, or when you elected to office, that, all right, you change your phone number and then you find it's only the upper class, the business people meet with you. That styling and model of government got to change. You see, if we change that, what had occurred 3 weeks back, a week back, it wouldn't happen. And then you realize people complaining about the food chain, the food basket. So to close, I want to say people-centered, labor-oriented, people-driven, bringing governance closer to the people. Not just a manifesto, not just for campaign sake, and then after that, you could barely talk to the MP. And one more thing, see, what is critical? After you put that person in office, regardless to which political party, and then you realize you have to go to the constituency office. You have to make an appointment. And to me, that shouldn't be so. So my key, let me go back with my 4 areas, agriculture,
break it down first.
Infrastructure, healthcare, and education. Of course, the macroeconomy. And to me, that is what I want to see, a real government taking the wealth of the nation and bringing it closer to the people.
Thank you very much, Tabakit. We have one more minute before we head to the break. When we come back, we're going to take some more of your calls, people. We live on Street 919 FM. This is The Balance, and today is a very key day in terms of understanding what do you want. What are you looking for out of this political conversation? I wouldn't take any more calls because we have just a minute, so I don't want to do you that injustice. International callers, you could get us at 718-874-3860. That's 718-874-3860. And WhatsApp messages, you could send them live to 771-1791. 771-1791. We'll take your WhatsApp messages and voice notes and so much more here on Street 919 FM. When we come back, we continue the conversation inside this 6 o'clock hour. It's 5:29. When we come back and let you know what's happening with Iwer Stage as we continue into a very, very excellent season. It's the silly season. Let the games begin. You're on Street 919 FM. Catch us on Facebook Live as well.
Talk. You talk. Come talk with us on the street. 919 FM.
As the election race heats up, the UNC is turning up the temperature. Ready to govern, ready to lead, and ready with the best candidates.
After almost 5 years, almost $300 billion, more citizens are struggling to survive than ever before.
With political leader Kamala Prasad Bisasa and the leaders of tomorrow.
The UNC Master Plan has 5 interconnected guiding principles, which constitute our strategy for recovery, growth, and diversification.
Join our virtual campaign platform Thursday on this station. The United National Congress. Now is the time.
Looking for real data freedom? Bring your number and enjoy the best of 4G LTE on B-Mobile. Get a free 30-day trial with free data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, and more. Plus, get 50% off your next 3 months. Check us online or in-store. Unlimited 4G LTE speed on the other network? Fake news. B-Mobile is the real deal for 4G LTE. Switch now and get a 30-day free trial packed with 25 gigabytes of data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, and more. Check us online or in-store. There is nothing better than seeing your child happy, and the decision to create happy moments is yours. Lactogen 3 with L Comfortis helps you nurture that happiness with probiotics that helps you protect their tummy, vitamins and minerals for growth, and DHA for their brain development. Lactogen 3, growing up happy. Lactogen 3 growing up is not a breast milk substitute. It is specially suited for young children from 1 year onward.
The Trinidad and Tobago General Elections 2020 is here on the street 919 FM.
I have advised Her Excellency the President to dissolve this Parliament at midnight tonight. Nomination day, Madam Speaker, would be Friday, 17th of July, and polling day would be August 10th, 2020.
And the street 919 FM is proud to defend the nation yet again for another general election.
Tune in daily to hear your candidates and supporters live on the only station that gives you a platform for expression.
This is the General Elections 2020 on the street 919 FM.
Real talk from real people
on real issues that affect you.
No one talks politics like us. From the Parliament to the Promenade. This is the 2020 General Election in Trinidad and Tobago. Right here on Street 919 FM, the home of the 2020 General Election.
I wish all my colleagues in this house a safe, happy, enjoyable, productive campaign.
Every child is incredibly intelligent. Parents, reach higher. Be stronger. Join Olive Reyes Clark, producer of the IBG line of educational products, right here every Thursday morning at 11:15. Get the genius out of the children. Hear how you can work with the IBG phonic program and see your children learn at least 200 times faster. Remember, IBG guarantees rapid progress for champions to turn this nation around. It's right here on 91.9 FM every Thursday morning at 11:50. For more info, call 336-3896 or 725-READ.
Electric Change your water, change your life. Enagic Water Purifier, one machine, 5 types of water. Enagic makes strong Kangen water with an 11.5 pH. Kangen water with 8.5 to 9.5 pH, healthy drinking and cooking water. Clean water with 7.0 pH. Beauty water for skin, hair, and plants with a 6.0 pH. Strong acid water with a 2.5 pH. This water is known to disinfect, kill viruses and bacteria. Listen to the Street 919 FM with Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to noon and every Wednesday from 8:05 p.m. to 9 p.m. as he talks to you weekly about how to improve your quality of life through purifying and drinking water. For more information, call or WhatsApp Pastor John at 516-286-7079.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the Street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance Beat All Talk.
Sharing your goals, helping you find your place in the world. Peace and gratitude, God holding your hand, leading the way, here for your needs, making sure that you succeed. Eastern's lending a hand, Eastern together, we're leading the way. Eastern Credit Union, leading the way.
As the election race heats up, the UNC is turning up the temperature. Ready to govern, ready to lead, and ready with the best candidates.
After almost 5 years, almost $300 billion, more citizens are struggling to survive than ever before.
With political leader Kamala Prasad Bisasa and the leaders of tomorrow.
The UNC Master Plan has 5 interconnected guiding principles which constitute our strategy for recovery, growth, and diversification.
Join our virtual campaign platform Thursday on this station. The United National Congress. Now is the time.
Come talk with us. Real issues, hard talk, real talk on the Street 919 FM.
Okay, missing a dog. My way down, son. Dreams, dog, chasing my dreams, dog. One Psalms a day, beg Jah to guide me and my team, dog. Dreams, dog, chasing my dreams, dog. Rest in peace, God, you was a real brother to me. My dog, I said this, stepping at the skin, skull outright. Now me kick off like rocket, you want try to pop it? No, but just a pop, put the brain like the box of mom, me darling, with the big galley. Me no really business where you come from. Can't scare me, people love me. Big long broom, you know how we sweep these streets. I know. I riddle up your body, lie down. So is a bad man and a cry now. 5.5, go to eyeball. In a long talk when me try pass. Pull up, boom, boom, look from my glass. Window wine up, then me press gas. Long live die, dog, with a cross. Dreams, dog, chasing my dreams, dog. One Psalms a day, beg Jah to guide me and my team, dog. Dreams, dog, chasing my dreams, dog. Rest in peace, God, you was a real brother to me, dog.
All right, so Trinidad and Tobago, we are back live here on Street 919 FM. Yours truly, Mr.X, in the hot seat, sitting down inside on the balance. And of course, today we're talking really and truly what you're looking for, what you're asking for, what you want to see out of this 2020 election, what changes we're looking for, what development you're hoping to really get You know, some politicians are going to say something. What's going to really get to you? Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, dear.
Okay, good day. Mr.X, to your question, what I would like to see is the registration of all citizens and their home, especially home, and start paying some land and house building taxes, right? Also, all employable people, or citizens, I should say, should be registered. In every constituent, sorry, I'm getting messed up. Every constituency, the representative should know everybody living here. So we didn't have any goals, right?
Right.
If you are employable, we want to know why you're not working. Because you're accepting taxpayers' contribution in terms of road, health, and whatever other education, whatever thing that is offered to you, to people who are paying taxes. And you must say why you're not employed, right? And it should also have listings of employment. If people have vacancies, they should list it. They should have an agency where they list it in that constituency. And so they can get, because we can't have people liming. You have brand name shoes, you have guns, you have drugs, you're creating problem in the society, and yet still, and also, no legal aid to the pests in the country. Anybody who creates any wrongdoing in the country, they should not receive.
No, but how you could decide that then? How you could decide who's a pest not to get legal aid?
Okay, well, once you are charged for something that is wrong, but let's say, Mr.X, you want to say you have not proven that person has done that thing, but they are charged. If they are found guilty, they must pay it back.
Right. Okay, I understand
because
that.
You cannot. Why I'm saying this, you cannot have these people doing wrong, the taxpayers paying for you, and you suing back the same taxpayer through the government. You know, that can't be right.
All right, that's something I'll have to look at.
I charge you, and then you suing. I giving you a lawyer to sue me.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
No, it can't be right.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so callers, get inside live 3420081, 3420081 international line. I apologize for missing you in the last session, but you can get in now at 718-874-3860. I'm looking forward to here we go, international line. Let's see if I get it correct. Hello, good afternoon.
Sir.
Yes, greetings, my brother. Go ahead.
A pleasant good afternoon to you.
Pleasant good afternoon to you as well.
And a pleasant afternoon to the Queen of Radio, wherever she is.
Yes, I hope she's safe and well, but she's doing her thing too.
So, Mr. X, you asked a fantabulous question this afternoon here. And I like to give solutions, you know. I don't just like to talk. I like to give solutions as well.
Kudos to you.
So here is what I believe. The committee that has been set up, right, is a committee that's set up to look at the difficulties people face in urban and semi-urban area in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what's a semi-urban area.
Right.
I don't know if it could be half urban.
Well, boy.
It could be half pregnant.
I don't know either. Because to me the word urban is a simple word and the word rural is a simple word. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's one word, you know. I didn't get it. But anyway, here's what black people in the impoverished and disadvantaged communities of Trinidad and Tobago need. First, they need economic empowerment. They need economic development. They need economic inclusion. And they need access to capital. That is one of the first things that black people that are disadvantaged in these rural communities or urban communities, as they say, need in these communities. Secondly, they need recreation departments in all these constituencies. Because Frederick Douglass said it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. If you have a recreation department in Lavantil proper, for example, in Chumakak, in Mova, in Beaton, right? You can have activities for these kids on an ongoing basis. The third thing they need to do, they need to reduce the budget of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service from 2.6 billion and increase the Ministry of Sport budget from 300 million to 900 million. And here is where I get that from. The budget, the Ministry of Sport budget of Jamaica is $900 million. The budget of Trinidad and Tobago is 300 million. So think about it.
1/3, and their population budget is double ours. It's 1/3 of their budget, and our population is half of theirs.
Exactly, right? So, we have to get serious. You can't have Jamaica having a budget of 900 million and we having a budget of 300 million, and we could easily take away 600 million from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and put that to Ministry of Sports. Now, well, that has to do with human health and all kind of things to it. But the last one I'm going to say, because I'm biased to Laventilla, I'm very biased to Laventilla and its violence. They need to put a football field and a track in Laventilla, and that football field should be a turf field. And on this turf field, you will be able to play sport regardless whether it's raining. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's an all-purpose field. Right, so you have a track and field. People could be playing football. If they want to learn lacrosse, they could be playing lacrosse. They could be playing American football. They could be playing field hockey. Right.
Some type of recreation to keep them distracted.
Correct. Keep them distracted. 5 different sports in this one field. And I also want the same thing in the beat-up. I want a football field. I want a track and field. And they go across Trinidad and they put lights in these fields where there are rocks. I don't really know where you put lights for in field, and you can't do nothing on the field. But they have floodlights there. I know which party put that, but I know they put lights in all these fields.
Yeah.
That would be fun. But Mr. X, these little activities here will reduce crime. You see, because people want to fight crime with police service, and you don't fight crime with giving police more ammunition and more equipment and all these things. You fight crime with these activities
with programs
in the community.
I've heard that before in the US, that you fight crime with programs, not with, not with more equipment or more guns.
Correct. You fight crime with programs, so these kids can get involved in these programs. And I'm going to put this quote. I would like to give a quote.
Yeah.
And I said this before. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual death. And if we in Trinidad and Tobago continue along these lines, we're going to approach spiritual death. So I'm saying to my party, which I know going to win the next election, I have given you a quick roadmap in order for you to start to turn things around in Trinidad, to change crime in Trinidad and Tobago, and to empower black people in Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. X, thank you very
Thank you very much, Wall Street Trini. Oh God, sorry about that, Wall Street Trini. Finger a little happy on the trigger. Trying to gain as many as possible. Good afternoon, you're live.
Good afternoon, Mr. X.
Greetings, my dear. How are you?
Well, hanging in.
You're hanging in? What did the rain do with you today?
Well, it fall, and I just sit down and watch it. Can't do nothing else.
I know. So tell me what you want. What you looking for, James?
I would like to see. Well, I was born and grew in Laventille. I was born, when I tell you, I'm born in a hospital. I bought the place, they're calling it Thomasine Street now, but it was 5th Street. That was the name of the street. I was born there. As a child, I grew up in Laventille. And I am saying I would like to see crime stop in this country. You see the crime? Because last night alone, I hear they killed 3.
Yeah, it's about 3 last night. That last night, Monday night, yeah?
Let me tell you something, Mr. X. My first husband was murdered,
Really?
DJ Gabi, that was my first husband.
Okay.
He was murdered.
Yeah.
You understand? He was murdered. You understand? Yes, he was in 1977. He was murdered. So I know the pain of murder. I feel it. You understand? I know what is murder. You understand? I would like to see the crime stop because it's not doing any good. It's only blood only running like water in the street. And I find it's time that this crime sets up. I really would like to see. But it's up to the criminal to stop it, eh?
True that.
It's up to the criminal because I just always say, if somebody hit me a big stone, it's up to me now to know if to go back and hit him a big stone or whatever. The crime is within yourself. And it's time we make up our mind as youth to stop shedding one another blood in this country. It's time. Too much blood running.
Thank you very much, James.
Too much.
You're right. Thank you very much. I totally agree with you.
I want to see something on that. Understand, Mr. X? I wonder if my girl coming in today.
I hope so. She says she's running a little late, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I got onto the gentleman yesterday.
Right.
So he told me tomorrow is the funeral. So I'm making arrangements to meet him on Thursday to organize the things that I have for him.
All right. No problem.
Right,
Thanks a lot, James. You have a blessed evening, all right?
Okay,
Thank you very much for sharing.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yes, that's a very, very powerful one. Let me get in with a quick comment here on the WhatsApp message. I would first like to see portable pipe-borne water, a reduction of crime, proactive and retroactive measures to reduce crime, reduce prices in groceries, self-sustainable agriculture, and more incentives and innovation in cultural programs and policies for diversification. Paul, I see you trying to get in. If you need to call Paul, you'll need to call me on the phone line. And I'm going to take this one real quick here. Hello, you are live.
Yeah. I want to see what I will see. Anybody, any parliamentarian chief, you see like how them people again, and think that is supposed done for. Because I really doubt people will vote to Kamala and them again in this country.
All right, thank you very much.
Anybody, please, I want to see we demonstrate and get rid of them once and no way, because they ain't getting locked up. I think the status will have to start to lock up these people after this election. Just to say arrest we call it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me go to the international line real quick. I see another caller there. Good afternoon.
My brother.
Yes, my brother.
I want to dialogue with you in a very prolific way.
All right. Let's see what we could do. We have 9 minutes.
Of all of the conversations that you have you heard anyone speak about simple law and order, basic law and order? Anybody talk about that yet?
No, not in that particular way at all. People have been asking about the reduction in crime, but not basic law and order.
So everyone is focusing on this big idea, putting all kinds of school and programs and cut budget from here and cut budget from there. If you don't have simple, basic law and order, you can do nothing in any place. There is no program that you can put there, anywhere, in those mighty precious communities. I want to say to the people of Belmont, Sealots, Lavantil, all behind the bridge, you all are a bunch of very special people. What a lot of people are not understanding, and I want the PNM to understand this. Those people have been your loyal voters. If you allow and cause people to be living in a state of dis-ease, it is called disease. When people in other communities, if you take a look at Carney Savannah Road in Shogunas, you go to 500, you go to Tunapuna, the people are living in a state of ease. When you are living in a state of ease, you are able to think about how to do constructive things and make a difference in your life. But when you live in a state of discomfort and dis-ease, you are not going to be able to make decisions that are going to be decisions that will make a big difference in your life. For too long, those people, those beautiful African people, have been living in a state of dis-ease.
Right.
There are so many decent persons.
Thank
so
you
the
very
last
much.
point I want to make
Go ahead,
here.
quickly.
if you also tell the people that the property that they have around them worth nothing, right? When people became empowered, they got 40 acres and a mule, and persons got hundreds of acres. If you tell those people that every single piece of property around them is worth nothing, how you think they're going to feel? Like they are nothing.
All right, thank you very much. I want to try and squeeze in one other person before I go to the break.
You want to hear this? You need to hear this. It is because all of those properties in Belmont and all of those places are free and clear from all debt, and because there are no mortgages tied up in the bank, why the more sophisticated minded people have turned their backs on those persons in those communities. No. They must think different. Educated people do not think like that. People with certificates undermine people. Educated people solve problems.
All right, caller, we have to go to the break. Thank you very much.
I hope you understand me.
Yes, I understand. Thank you very much. We have to head to the break, and I'm going to dedicate the calls when we come back to our real local community. We have the news wrap-up for the day. That's coming up at 6 o'clock with yours truly. So we'll be right back here on Street 919 FM. This is The Balance. Mr.X in your company. Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. We'll be right back.
Talk your talk, but we know talk. Come talk with us.
The Street
919 FM.
As the election race heats up, the UNC is turning up the temperature. Ready to govern, ready to lead, and ready with the best candidates.
After almost 5 years, almost $300 billion, more citizens are struggling to survive than ever before.
With political leader Kamala Prasad Bisasa and the leaders of tomorrow.
The UNC Master Plan has 5 interconnected guiding principles, which constitute our strategy for recovery, growth, and diversification.
Join our virtual campaign platform Thursday on this station, the United National Congress. Now is the time.
Get interactive with the Street 919 FM.
All day, every day. See us all live on our Facebook page.
Share and comment on our show.
Like our page.
Chat with our live on-air announcers.
The Street 919's Facebook page.
Live and interactive all day, every day. The Street 919 FM.
Come talk with us.
Sorry, faster speed is not in service.
4G LTE speeds not there for you? Port your number to B-Mobile's always on 4G LTE and try 30 days of free data, free WhatsApp, free call, free text, free web browsing, and free roaming data. Check us online or in store.
The Trinidad and Tobago General Elections 2020 is here on the Street 919 FM.
I have advised Her Excellency the President to dissolve this Parliament at midnight tonight. Nomination day, Madam Speaker, would be Friday, 17th of July, and polling day would be August 10th, 2020.
And the Street 919 FM is proud to defend the nation yet again for another general election.
Tune in daily to hear your candidates and supporters live on the only station that gives you a platform for expression.
This is the General Elections 2020 on the Street 919 FM.
Real talk from real people
on real issues that affect you.
No one talks politics like us. From the Parliament to the Promenade, this is the 2020 General Election in Trinidad and Tobago. Right here on Street 919 FM, the home of the 2020 General Election.
I wish all my colleagues in this house a safe, happy, enjoyable, productive campaign.
Mohammed's Bookstore Associates Limited with branches at Gulfview, Link Road, High Street, San Fernando, number 26 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna, Henry Street in Port of Spain, and West Mall, West Maury. At Mohammed's Bookstore, you can check out our specials on textbooks, stationery, school supplies, school uniforms, children's storybooks, puzzles of all sizes, and many more. You can query your book list and get an email when your books arrive. New titles for SEA students, developing critical thinking for SEA math pupils books and solution teachers books. Right on point. Creative Writing SEA by Alicia McLean. Creative Writing Simplified for upper primary and Language Arts Simplified for upper primary. Lots of SEA practice books for sale for 1/3 of the retail price. Others are much less. Bring Mohammed's Bookstore closer to you as everything now is at your fingertips as you can log on to our website on www.mohammedsbookstore.com. trinidad.com. Opening hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Fridays, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays, and 8 a.m. to noon on Sunday. Call us today at our Tunapuna branch at 647-7355, our San Fernando branch at 657-1012, our West Morris branch at 637-6551, our Gulfview branch at 657-9613, and our Port of Spain branch at 627-3341. Like and follow our page on Facebook at Muhammad's Bookstore and on Instagram at Muhammad's Bookstore.
Too much trouble in your TikTok? Switch to B-Mobile. For always on 4G LTE. Get a free 30-day trial with free 25 gigabytes of data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, and more. Plus, get 50% off your next 3 months. Check us online or in-store.
Hey guys, it's Isha here. Listen up. If you're considering selling or renting your house in Trinidad and Tobago, then call Keelan George with O'Neill's Real Estate Group. He's a good friend of mine and he's been in the business for over 6 years. First, selling real estate in Atlanta, Georgia, and now right here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a strategic online marketing presence that actually attracts thousands of home buyers and renters. Plus, with his home selling advice and techniques, he's getting homes sold really fast. Keelan will actually guarantee you sell your home, or get this, you can cancel the listing agreement and pay nothing at any time. That's right, you heard me, nothing at any time. Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, people. Check out www.o'neillrealestateTT.com. O'Neill is spelled O-N-E-I-L, or just call Keelan direct at 363-4030. That's 363-4030.
When it comes to healthcare, you deserve the best. Do you suffer from low energy, anxiety, or constipation? Health and Wealth Lifestyle with Nicole Huggins provides you with the best services of iridology exam, blood analysis, ionic foot detox, followed by a soothing foot massage. We also provide the best organic supplements. We are located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Or call us at 288-1108 or 275-8359. Join us on the street 919 FM every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Health and Wealth Lifestyle with Nicole Huggins. Tobago is like one big happy family, and in this time of pandemic, our family values have never been stronger. We are stronger together, Tobago, and together with a name you can depend on, we are moving into the new normal with quality food from Chef and Barbecue.
On mornings when I'm on my way to work, I like to pass by Chef's and BBQ for a hot cow heel soup or a bacon salt fish to start my day. And now I hear breakfast is $20. And then me I go. This stuff nice too, you know. Hello, Chef's is the place to go.
Chef and Barbecue is renowned in Tobago for home-style cooking using the best Tobago has to offer and more. Visit a Chef and Barbecue near you today and get that home-cooked meal you've been missing. Call to order and pick up your meals hot and ready at Chef's and Barbecue. There's no chef like a Tobago chef.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
Here's your opportunity to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly and guests as they lead in worship ministries of the Word and Prayer. That's every Sunday at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and every Wednesday from 9 p.m. to midnight on the street 919 FM, where we deal with today's issues from a biblical perspective. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. You'll be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Your life and family will never be the same. You are welcome to visit our website, www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org. Like us on Facebook. Your financial support will be greatly appreciated. Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank. You can contact us at 753-1113.
Unstoppable means nothing holding you back. True mobile freedom. No buffering in your binging. No pauses in your playlists. No lag in your live streams. More instant in your Instagram and more blazing in your browsing. Unstoppable means unlimited speed. Introducing TNT's biggest mobile data plans ever from B-Mobile. More data, more speed, and more value. And always on super fast 4G LTE all the time. Visit us online, in-store, or call us on 824-8788 to level up your mobile plan today.
Better vision for your physical eyes, and through the eyes of faith, let healing arise in your mind, body, and spirit. At Natural Heal Ministries, we teach kingdom principles for living that brings the blessing of God to your mind, body, and soul.
NHM Professional Associates are located at number 10 Moody Stewart Street, Monrepos, San Fernando. For more info, contact Dr. Desmond Phillip at NHM on 349-3494.
NHM Professional Associates can be heard live on the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 9:05 to 9:55 a.m.
Talk your talk, but we don't talk. Come talk with us. The Street 919 FM.
All right, so we are back. We are back to more action right here on Street 919 FM. It is General Election 2020 in Trinidad and Tobago. And we are chatting with you in the public and asking you, what are you looking for? In this particular general election, there are areas of concern, issues, things that you'd like to have treated. We've heard a number of people say they want to make sure that whatever government comes into play makes us stay away from the IMF as one of the main areas. Another main area of concern has been the topic of crime. What can governments do to really arrest crime has been a question that came out of that discussion. One person in particular is talking about a change of the mindset of our people, and hopefully the election can bring some messages that would help that to happen. All right? So we are going to continue to touch base with you on the phone lines in just a little bit. But before we do that, actually, we have to go to our 6 p.m. news wrap-up that is due right now. So we go to that next with your news update. And, of course, yours truly, I'm going to be your announcer for that. So up next, we've got your news update here on Street 919 FM.
News from the street, 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. This is your 6 p.m. news wrap-up here on Street 919 FM. In the headlines, digital campaign will pose a challenge according to the Council for Ethical Political Behavior. Fuad Abubakar is set to sue the police commissioner Gary Griffith, and overseas, schools in Kenya will remain closed until 2021. With your details, my name is Vern Extevor. Chairman of the Council for Ethical Political Behavior, Dr. Bishnu Raghunath, says recommendations have been made to revise the organization's code. Dr. Raghunath made the comments as the parties are shifting to campaigning using social media and digital platforms in order to work around the restrictions of the COVID-19 outbreak in this country. He said that monitoring this method in cyberspace could prove challenging. Dr. Raghunath said that he has asked some of his students at the UA to do some monitoring for him, and they have been picking up certain things which have come up on Facebook. The Council for Ethical Political Behavior is encouraging the national community to help them police the hustings by reporting via email any infringement of the Ethical Political Behavior Code by any of the political parties. Leader of the New National Vision Party, Fuad Abubakar, says he will be taking legal action against Police Commissioner Gary Griffith after he was arrested following last Tuesday's protest in Port of Spain. Mr. Barker claims that he was ill-treated while in police custody, describing it as awful. He said he shared a cell without other arrest protesters and the Bessel Street police station, and alleges that they were given bread and peanuts on the first day, which was their only meal for that day. The NNV leader also claims he was forced to sleep on the cold, hard floor. Police are discounting Mr. Barker's version of what actually occurred. He is now out on bail and the matter is before the court. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has stated that he would not forgive Tobagonians if they elected the Progressive Democratic Party political leader Watson Duke to Parliament. Mr. Duke, he is the Tobago House of Assembly minority leader, is contesting the Tobago East seat against the PNM incumbent Ayanna Webster Roy on the August 10th polls. Mr. Duke recently stated that the PDP was willing to join forces with any party who would put Tobago first. However, Dr. Rowley, a native Tobagonian, on Monday bluntly rejected the idea that the PNM would ever join forces with the PDP, even to keep the PNM in government. The Prime Minister acknowledged the fact that Mr. Duke is on a criminal charge and should not be offering himself for Parliament. Mr. Duke was charged with sexual offences in 2018 and sedition last September, which he was cleared of in January. Now to overseas news. All schools in Kenya will remain closed until January 2021 because of the coronavirus pandemic. Education Minister in the Kenyan government, George Magoha, said that students would repeat a year as schools had been closed since mid-March and only 3 months into that calendar year. Colleges and universities will, however, reopen in September if they abide by strict guidelines. The East African country has confirmed over 8,000 cases of coronavirus, with at least 164 deaths. There has since been a recent surge in new infections in recent times. Kenya is in the midst of a state of emergency over the pandemic, with an overnight curfew from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. until the end of July. And that's what's making your news wrap up today. And recapping our headlines, digital campaigns will pose a challenge according to the Council for Ethical Political Behavior. Fuad Abubakar is looking to sue Commissioner Gary Griffith, and schools in Kenya remain closed until 2021. That was your news update and the wrap-up of news today on Street 919 FM to 6 p.m. My name is Vern X. DeVore. Do have a good evening, Trinidad and Tobago.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.
No time to waste, everybody. We are right back to action right here on Street 919 FM. And I must say good evening without mi amigo. Yes, trabaja es muy buen. All right, excellent work, my brother. Keep it up, yeah? Good work, brother. So we come back here on Street 919 FM. We've got that new normal in radio down pat. You can see us live on Facebook. Join us. And you can join us online and via phone call at 342-0081. Who's on the line? Good afternoon. Good evening, sorry.
Mr. Wu.
Greetings.
What I would like to see is some type of reform where the crime is concerned, but where the law is concerned, where dealing with crime. Where the finding with an illegal firearm, no bail. That's 120 days, no bail. No bail at all. Because we understand a clear message. I would like them to bring back hanging. I would like them to bring back that. Because too many murderers walk in here and tell themselves it's free flow, free trailing. Can't support that. I want ministers now to come out of the office and meet with the people more. Because be it where, if anybody tell you that happening, they lie. The council does not come out and meet with the people. But we need to see ministers interacting with the people after the election. Apart from that, I heard somebody mention dropping food prices. Government come, government go, like none of them have a control where food prices is concerned. I can't understand that aspect of it. So if you could relate to me a little more where that is concerned, I will appreciate that. But as a people, if people don't change their mindset, the way they think, you think positive, you breathe positive, so shall it be. Align yourself with positive people. You would get change. With some people, you spend an evening. With some people, you have to invest that time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My lines are open 4665391 and 3420081. We're taking the live calls. What you're looking for? What is your main bugbear in this election campaign? Let's go to this line. Hello, good afternoon. You are live.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Listen, very good question. Listen, it's one of the things that different people really would want different sort of requests, so to speak, from a government or
different results.
Campaign. Yes, one of the things I am glad for, and that is why I always tell people from 2010 to 2015, I thought we'd have gotten better governance. What I like what thrills me is your question of legislation to deal with corruption. That is one. I think Dr. Oliande are meeting real confrontational sort of approach in debating these issues in the parliament because of the opposition. And if we get the proper legislation to deal with corruption and crime, I think we're better off. And that has to coincide with the action of police officers dealing with backing these laws. And the other thing, I am really on the notion of accountability. Accountability comes with the same legislation in relation to tax collection. Policy that would give us good tax collection if people want money out there. One of the things you need to have is proper tax collection. That's where the Revenue Authority comes in. Again, the legislation to do that, in the parliament, you need a proper opposition to understand the national interest. If you don't have these things, all the requests we make in there about seeing the people and wanting to do with the people, it will make no sense for them. Trust me, there is no way I should be in a government office today and still have somebody signing a receipt with a pen when I know I could go to one place, collect my thing, better accountability, and then it would reach the people. I'm seeing Dr. Orlando want that. They can't get it unless they have the right opposition. Those are the things that really thrill, those things, they thrill me. Because that is full thing I'm looking at. So that is what I want. That is what I know. If Dr. Orlando get that mandate, I would be proud. But there are people calling me from Canada and say, listen, they would get their tax return in less than 4 days. You know why? Because of the type of system they have within the Revenue Authority. We need that. So unless we have those things, it doesn't make sense. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for proper system to account for, to collect money, proper legislation, and these things would have a ripple effect for money to reach the people who we know, those people we consider for it. One more thing. We always ask about what the government could do for us. The people of African descent, who I love dearly, there are areas where, yes, we depend on the government. But my God, when the government put things in place for you, try and make, not so much your government, if you have, people always talk about Dr. is a black leader for black people. If you put things in place for you all, make your black leader proud. It's a give and take. Make him proud. Make sure community is safe. If it's safe, other people will visit, more revenue will be developed. I'm telling you that. If you get it, make your country, your leader proud. Thank you, Vern. Thanks a lot.
All right, Rowley Jr., thank you so much. Let me say good afternoon to you, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Good afternoon to each and every one of you. Yes, I am here. Start to send my numbers up, please. I don't know how Mr.X, when he had mad 78 viewers this time, they were going on. So, yes, I'm here. Yeah, you're not as popular as me. Thank you guys so much for staying locked on to the Street 919 FM. I have had a long day. Yeah, and, it comes with trying to juggle everything at the same time.
Yeah.
Trying to juggle entrepreneurship and everything. Sometimes they get
motherhood. Everything.
Well, actually, motherhood wasn't the reason. It was actually a business meeting.
Okay. Well, no worries. I know how it goes.
So, yeah, I'm in here. I'm here. Share the live. Send up those comments. Let's get the show on the road. What you was talking about, so I can.
Right. So what I asked Trinidad and Tobago is, what are you looking for out of the 2020 elections? What are the main issues you want to have addressed? What you want your political leaders and your party members to really address and satisfy? And I guess it's promises too, but what you really need to get fixed in the country, and out of the politics, what you're looking to hear from people. And we got some interesting conversations.
What are some of the
things like crime in particular. Crime got mentioned a lot. One or a couple callers too as well want to make sure that when any other government comes in place, any government that goes next must make sure and keep us out of the hands of the IMF. A lot of people are looking for things like what Rowley Jr. spoke about with respect to crime, amendments to that anti-gang legislation, the Bail Act, to make sure that persons in particular change their mindset and become better citizens overall, to make sure we could arrest crime as well, because it's our responsibility too. But again I ask the question, if a government can't really promise a change in crime, and they're looking to really change mindsets, then they shouldn't put crime in a manifesto or a promise. It should really and truly be about developing the community so that we don't move into a life of crime. And I think I agree with that personally. Okay. And the more programs, Wall Street came into as well and talked about more programs to arrest crime rather than more guns. Rather than
I like that idea.
Yeah, rather than putting more money in the police, it should really be about putting more programs in place to improve your citizenry.
And you know, all this that is said here this afternoon, and I'm listening, and excellent programs, excellent, solutions.
Mm-hmm.
But these are members of political parties, so what, you don't have access to your leaders to share some of these information with them? I don't mean to sound straightforward, but yeah, I do mean to sound straightforward.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
These are active supporters of political parties, so don't you have access to your leaders to let them know what you require of them?
Well, I wonder.
So it can be added to the manifesto.
Well, I've never
we have all these solutions when we're on radio, and we have all these solutions when we're not, but when it's time to actually get down and let the leadership know we want X, Y, and Z, we seem to be lacking.
So is it that it doesn't present a forum? Is it that political parties do present a forum for that inclusion from the members?
What I do know, and I can only talk from one party's perspective because I've only been a member of one party.
Right.
The People's National Movement, every time they would have finished an election, win, lose, or draw, they would have a sort of something called, I'll remember the name.
Like a post-mortem?
Not a post-mortem. There's a name that they call it, a convention.
Right, the conventions, right.
And at the convention, they would, of course, present list of ideas from the different party groups and all these different people as to what they think. Usually it's done before an election, by the way.
Yeah, but they had a convention last year in Tobago.
They probably did.
Yeah, they did.
And from the list of ideas among the different party groups is what they would usually form their manifesto on.
Right.
Sometimes you see things in a manifesto that did not come up at the convention, etc., etc. Things like that happen. But I think all parties should have that type of structure.
Yeah, that sounds good.
What should be put into a manifesto? Who really comes up with these ideas anyway? And half of the things they put in there, do they really benefit us? I think we should have a say on what it is in there, and of course, pretty good ideas from the regular man, but how many of them really get it into perspective?
Well, I downloaded today the UNC 2020-2025, what I would consider their manifesto. I also downloaded Vision 3030 from the PNM and the PNM manifesto for 2010 and 2015. But the Let's Do This Together and the Patrick Manning one, caring about you today and tomorrow.
Right.
That PNM manifesto. So I'm taking a look. I haven't gone through them, but it is exactly what prompted my question today. Because I was wondering what feeds into these manifestos. Who gives these ideas? Who tells these political parties this is what people are interested in? One of the key things in the UNC, in their own, they have some principles: people-centered development, pro-business, local content, sustainability, and they have a bunch of different things around those concepts. But who said that we're looking to get to pro-business? Who gave you that contribution that we need to get to pro-business? Who gave you the contribution that people want a better tax regime in a different way and a removal of the authority? Who told you that people want property taxes removed? Because that's part of their promise as well, that they will take away the revenue authority and also remove property tax in their promise.
Totally understand. Let's see who else is there. The lines are crazy. Caller, you live.
Yes, Isha. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to Mr. X.
Good afternoon.
Brooklyn.
I did. Well, I'm listening to them, who talking about how the PNM doing this and doing that. Isha, in 1995 was the first time I vote, right? And I vote for PNM because I was listening to you, people in the community, and they tell you, vote for PNM and do that. Isha, they say we'll be for a better community, for better grounds so we can play football on, better basketball courts, better programs for the youth in the community. I talk about 1995. I shall look how much election come and go on. And I shall just see the same community, Second Caledonia, that was protesting and blocking the road the other day, that the world could have seen. Aisha, from 1995 to now, the grounds we used to play with little football with, Aisha, it bush, it mash up, nothing. From 1995 in 2020. In order for Laventille to get anything for the youth in Laventille, Jesus had to come from the sky and walk on the road for PNM to do anything for them. Because if I could tell you, the World Sea Second Caledonia, the youth come out and not only the Mova Junction Road only. I said from 1995 to now, PNM have done nothing. He even elected Jamal Shabazz to take care of the situation in the meeting on Thursday in Caledonia, Mova Bataya area. I used to carry the bad of football for Jamal Shabazz in the Savannah when he was coaching Caledonia. Yeah. I'm not talking nothing, I don't know. The PNM turned their back on the youth of Trinidad and Tobago from since Eric Williams days. They have done it. They have nothing to give us. Now, Kamala Posadi says them had 5 years, and look what they did. They get stadiums built, they get schools built, they get roads fixed, they get water in places when water could have never go before. So now they come and talk about the UNC the last 5 years and this and that and the other. We can see what they did. But under the PNM from 1995, before I vote to now, they have done nothing for the youth. That's why they cannot come today and walk the street and riot. None of them have no job. They're not working no way. So when they want to come and talk all this big talk and all this nice talk about Wall Street say they need stadium bill in Lavanty, they need stadium bill in Libitum. Wall Street Jesus had to walk the street before them thing happen under the PNM government. But I see an opportunity under the UNC government where these things could be done. You understand what I'm saying? So don't try to fool the youth. They're not taking that nonsense talk no more. PNM robbing me blind. And we see it. I shall have a blessed afternoon.
Thank you so much, my brother. Always very emotional in his contribution. Thanks, Brooklyn. Let's see who else is there. Call you live.
Yeah, Isha. Isha, that crackhead we're talking there. I should remember UNC now coming power. The Prince of Port of Spain. That's where I got to do take it and to make jail. Then I respect you have to crackhead because she took him out. They think about that. We try to make that jail. Huh? Thank you.
All right, caller. Let's take another one. Let's see who's there. Caller, you live.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Young fella there. Well, I can't call him a young fella again because he worked in 1995. He has to be at least around 40-something now, minimum, if that was his first time. But I just feel sorry for some fellas when I hear him talking. So now he might have a point in respect of infrastructure in the Lavantil community or the Mova community, and PNM might, or any government over the last years, might be deficient in that. But some of us here in these youth are kind of request as though they're expecting the government to do more for them than a government really should do for you. You know, a lot of young people from these areas, which I kind of grew up into, should learn to do. They need to use the educational system. It is there. It's not an easy thing. It takes some patience. It takes some dedication. But if you learn something, you will add value to yourself. You as a radio announcer would know that you probably went and do some course to put yourself in a position to have some upward mobility and to move up. Don't depend on the government. Don't go and line up for no 10 days. Even if you're doing that, you have to look beyond that. You have to try and exercise some personal responsibility. And trust me, you will reach 70 and still be dependent on the government, you know. And as a human being, you should have more drive and more initiative so that even if the government not providing, you have to make the effort to provide for yourself. I'll ask you this question. I live among the East Indian community in the South. Even though I'm originally from the North. And you know why I ask people? How come the Indian community, the young boys, the party not in power, so they can't depend on no government for anything. And yet still you see them moving forward. You know why? Because as a culture in the East Indian community, a large section of them are more in tune to individual responsibility, whether it's selling something by the side of the road or what have you, than the African community. And we need to look at that closely. Another thing quickly, in respect to the property tax and the revenue authority, at this point in time, 40% of all the tax that's supposed to be collected is not being collected. You know who pays me 60%? salaried people like me and you and all the public servants and all the people who pay PAYE upfront. People complaining about the 1%, but they're saying no property tax. What about all these malls there? What about all these manufacturing enterprises, all these buildings? The property tax on those things are millions of dollars, you know. The property tax on a house is a couple $100. Ask the people in Point 14, they pay the property tax that we supposed to pay, and they paying that years, and none of them have to sell their house because they know the facts and they know it reasonable. But rather than give the facts, somebody will just hear somebody say, hey, the property tax will be 1,000, and they take that and they run with it and just misinformation, but they won't check for themselves to find out what it actually is. I will leave it there for you guys.
Thank you so much. Another call. Every line is lit. Let's see who else is there. Caller, you are live.
Miss Wells.
Caller, you there?
Good afternoon. Hello.
Yes, Guru.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. X. And good afternoon to the... Hello.
Yes, Guru. We hearing you.
Right. And good afternoon to the very tardy Miss Wells.
So what happened? You send me out or what?
Very tardy. Getting here this afternoon. Isha, you know, the politicians come from the communities that we live. So we live in among a community, about 2,000-3,000 people living here, and one decided to go up, join a political party and go up for election. And we all voted to support him and he win. You know, all of a sudden he gone to the top of the ladder, the economic ladder. He had a big house, he had 2-3 cars in the garage, his children gone away to study. You understand? He's flying free all over the place. He's living high and mighty, eating the best, drinking the best. I remain down at the bottom of the ladder. I must ask you for nothing. But after he lived that life, that of luxury 5 years, he coming back after 5 years and ask me for my vote again. So he could go back and live another 5 years the same way. And I mustn't ask he and his government for nothing.
Let's talk on the street.
The official station that defends the nation.
Sorry, Guru. Call me back.
As the election race heats up, the UNC is turning up the temperature. Ready to govern, ready to lead, and ready with the best candidates.
After almost 5 years, almost $300 billion, more citizens are struggling to survive than ever before.
With political leader Kamala Prasad Bisasa and the leaders of tomorrow.
The UNC Master Plan has 5 interconnected guiding principles which constitute our strategy for recovery, growth, and diversification.
Join our virtual campaign platform Thursday on this station. The United National Congress. Now is the time.
Sorry, faster speed is not in service.
4G LTE speeds not there for you? Port your number to B-Mobile's always on 4G LTE and try 30 days of free data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, free web browsing, and free roaming data. Check us online or in store.
Hey guys, it's Isha Wells here. Listen up. If you're considering selling or renting your house in Trinidad and Tobago, then call Keelan George with O'Neill's Real Estate Group. He's a good friend of mine and he's been in the business for over 6 years. First, selling real estate in Atlanta, Georgia, and now right here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a strategic online marketing presence that actually attracts thousands of home buyers and renters. Plus, with his home selling advice and techniques, he's getting homes sold really fast. Keelan will actually guarantee you sell your home or, get this, you can cancel the listing agreement and pay nothing at any time. That's right, you heard me, nothing at any time. Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, people. Check out www.o'neillrealestatetT.com. O'Neill is spelled O-N-E-I-L, or just call Keelan direct at 363-4030. That's 363-4030.
It's so long we're home. I have run out of clothes. I'm waiting for the Fab India Expo to open.
Well, they're actually open already.
Finally. I was waiting for them since March.
And yes, I agree. I've been craving for the Indian food from Tandoori King.
I'll have dinner at Dosa's Diner, and I'll have dessert at Nanu's Kulfi.
Listen, we could now dine in their food court area.
All you think about is food, huh? But I can shop there. I have to buy some shalwar and matching jewelry and shoes, you know.
They also just added 5 more vendors with all new goods.
When are they starting?
What?
Fab India Expo, of course.
The Fab India Expo is open opposite the Medford gas station in Shogunas. Check us out today.
The Trinidad and Tobago General Elections 2020 is here on the street, 919 FM.
I have advised Her Excellency the President to dissolve this Parliament at midnight tonight. Nomination day, Madam Speaker, would be Friday, 17th of July, and polling day would be August 10th, 2020.
And the Street 919 FM is proud to defend the nation yet again for another general election.
Tune in daily to hear your candidates and supporters live on the only station that gives you a platform for expression.
This is the General Elections 2020 on the Street 919 FM.
Real talk from real people
on real issues that affect you.
No one talks politics like us. From the Parliament to the Promenade, this is the 2020 General Election in Trinidad and Tobago. Right here on Street 919 FM, the home of the 2020 General Election.
I wish all my colleagues in this house a safe, happy, enjoyable, productive campaign.
Too much throttle in your TikTok? Switch to B-Mobile. For always on 4G LTE. Get a free 30-day trial with free 25 gigabytes of data, free WhatsApp, free talk, free text, and more. Plus, get 50% off your next 3 months. Check us online or in-store.
This is Wayne Delamore, Head Consultant and Director of Natural Health Solution. With over 15 years of experience in clinical nutrition and microscopy, we specialize in early detection and prevention. We incorporate evidence-based nutrition and science-driven analysis. Tune in to our educational program every Wednesday right here on the Street 91.9 FM. For appointments, call 222-2189 or 304-5816. At Natural Health Solutions, we offer a natural solution to healthy living.
Join Wayne Delamore on Wednesdays from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. right here on the Street 919 FM.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at O'Neill Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud. Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Happy Hour is back at Jenny's on the Boulevard. This time, we're not offering 10%, but 30% off drinks. Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Get 30% off beers, Carib, Stag, Caribbean, Guinness, and Heineken. 30% off rum, White Oak, Black Label, Absolute Vodka, and Blue Vodka. 30% off cocktails, margaritas, mojitos, Jenny's Long Island Iced Tea, and daiquiris. Also enjoy 10% discount every Friday and Saturday on sushi. And guess what? Our COVID specials remain. Ask for specials on takeout. Specials include 12% off all government ministry orders, 20% off desserts. Choose from our famous Chinese-style express buffet, the American menu, burgers, ribs, and more. Italian menu, pasta, and more. Feel like dining? Our in-house dining is back. Visit Jenny's on the Boulevard today. And do not forget to ask for specials. Opening daily between the hours of 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Call us today at 625-1807, 395-3757, or 488-8800. Jenny's on the Boulevard for all your Chinese, American, and Italian needs.
The Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James is now on the Street 919 FM every Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday. The Bible says the Gospel of the Kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end shall come. For more info, call 652-0924 or 298-4540 and join us every Sunday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. Monday for the Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James.
But wait, who's sending me this text? Hurricane warning, be prepared? Denzel, stop washing the car! A hurricane coming!
Mona, calm down. We just need to prepare. We must stock batteries and candles and charge our emergency lights in case we lose power.
That means we have to arrange a backup supply for Daddy respirator.
Yes, and before the storm hits, we must unplug all our electrical equipment. If we need to evacuate, remember to shut off the electricity at the main panel.
Yes, because you know here there's flood. Come, let us move the appliances upstairs, come.
Us, okay.
Wait, Denzel, don't unplug them thing with your wet hand, yourself.
Yes, Mona.
This hurricane season, when preparing for an emergency, don't forget your electricity. TNTech, the power to make it work.
This is Reverend Dr. Glenroy Frank inviting you to tune in every Monday evening at 6:15 for the Light and Life Outreach Program. This program is sponsored by the People's Pentecostal Church. So come join us live and hear this word of God that is able to build and to strengthen your life. The Light and Life Outreach Program every Monday, 6:15. God bless you.
As the election race heats up, the UNC is turning up the temperature. Ready to govern, ready to lead, and ready with the best candidates.
After almost 5 years, almost $300 billion, more citizens are struggling to survive than ever before.
With political leader Kamala Prasad Bisasa and the leaders of tomorrow.
The UNC Master Plan has 5 interconnected guiding principles which constitute our strategy for recovery, growth, and diversification.
Join our virtual campaign platform Thursday on this station. The United National Congress. Now is the time.
Come talk with us.
Real issues, hard talk.
Real talk on the street, 919 FM.
Goodly people, we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us as we get ready to come into the last and final half hour. Of course, don't forget to like the video, share the live. Already 60 shares on the live. Thank you guys so much. I find out it doesn't give X no love when I'm not here, you know. I don't like that at all. Let's see who's there. Caller, you live?
Hello?
Guru, the ads come on here just now. Sorry about that.
No problem, man. Yes, so this politician who come up from among us, Isha, well, he's a millionaire in 5 years. He get all kind of, his wife get contract for our stadium. He get his building rented for $61 million. And I want to ask you for a little sustenance. People are telling me, don't ask you for nothing. I must do it all on my own. Understand? But Aisha, I want to go to the question at X-Act. I am voting for the United National Congress because for 50 years the PNM have died in this country of high taxes, high food prices, you understand? Nepotism, bubble, corruption, no transparency, no accountability, badgerism, high crime, or poor infrastructure. All of that has taken place about 50 years in this country under the People's National Movement. On the other hand, the UNC in their short terms in office have filled up a pantry of grace and goodwill and expectancy. When I vote for the UNC, my children can have access to the Children's Life Fund to go away for life surgery. The young babies are guaranteed milk with the what they call the program they had, Isha, with the baby care grant.
Oh yes, the baby milk and stuff.
Yes, the baby care grant. The children and them, my going to school, the first formers can expect laptops to bring them into the technological world. You understand? Isha right now, I have a cell phone, I can send a text. And the little child, the smallest child I know can handle those cell phones and those computers. I could expect better drainage in my community. I could expect better playgrounds with lights lit up all over the place. I can expect better roads with no potholes. I can expect my children when they get to after they leave school, they can get scholarships. You understand? Because in the last year, you had about 400 scholarships, including technical and vocational studies, Isha was. My grandparents can get enhanced pensions, not once but twice. The people who work for minimum wage can expect increases in their minimum wage. You understand? Hospitals are built all over the country and health centers, community centers, playgrounds are refurbished and modernized, lights all over. You understand? The traffic jams in the country are reduced with more roads. And all of these goodies I can look forward to under a UNC government. When I am voting, Isha, in this election, and any election, I am going to vote the United National Congress. I'm going to tell the little Rowley something. The little Rowley, I was born in 49. I am 71 this year. You all refer to me as an old man. I have no problem with that. I'm proud of my age. But my support, Dr. Rowley, and you're running to defend every minute, he's also 71 this year. So he's also an old man. Okay? So you have to have respect for old people. So, because you criticize me for being an old man and criticizing people, but you're going out coming every minute and supporting and defending another old man who has no love, no care, no respect, who is obscene, who is classless, who is despicable in nature, and that is the man you're defending. But that is why they call you Little Rowley. Thank you, Isha and Mr. X.
All right, thank you, Guru. Go with God. Let's see who's there. Caller, you live. Caller, you live.
Yes, good afternoon, my sister Isha.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Well, I will thanks after the Almighty God and my brother X. Yeah. Yes, I come back in again.
All right, go ahead.
I am big men. You know, the men and them that talking there, they're talking to people who don't have eyes, who cannot see, who don't have sense. Because the amount of things that they tell me, Kamala Prasad did for this country, and she's saying that the country is in a crisis. Understand what they're trying to tell me. I'm a dunce. And I calling myself a dunce. And what they're telling me, I cannot see nothing like that. $400 million she cannot give a account for. Water treatment plan. $400 million live sports. $500 million a cut note did not come back in. And you telling me that this woman does so much of good that we must go and put our fingers and bring back a woman like that. It's to cripple this country. If the Bible tells us age bring reason, and if these old men could stand up and mislead the children like that, I don't hear the Indian children crying out for work. I don't hear the Chinese, I don't hear the Syrian crying out for work. All I hear crying out for work is the Africans. And there's all Africans telling them that the government's supposed to give them work. If the government doesn't give you work, you cannot get work. You understand? Government has to employ everybody. Now what they're telling the young youths and them, they're not telling them, do something to make money, Dr. William, last words in this country, Trinidad have money, do something, make something, sell something that you will get money. You don't have to depend on government to give you a job. And that's what these old men, I listen to them, misleading the youths and them. If you can make Tulum, 2 Tulum in a bag is $5. And if you can sell $100 of that, that's $500 per day. No job ain't giving you that money. Teach the children to fish. And don't give them a fish. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you so much. What's your thoughts on that? Teaching the children to fish and not giving them a fish. In other words, cut down on the amount of social programs and make them entrepreneurs?
I think it's not necessarily cut down the amount of social programs, but cut down on the wrong types of social programs.
What is the wrong type of social?
The social programs that make you dependent, the ones that put you in a position where you don't have any growth. I don't believe that you should ever offer anybody a job that they can't grow in, that they can't learn something in and develop in and make some future gains with. If you give somebody a job, they should be able to grow with it, as far as I'm concerned. And that is not to say the model of CPEP and URP can't be used to teach people to grow, because they can teach them how to grow in landscaping and agriculture and other development, and I'm seeing some things happening in Tobago that could take us down that particular road. But you have to give people help that will help them to grow as well, not just a crutch to hold on to for the rest of their lives or make them dependent or put them in such a position, because that dependency could be translated as you doing it for your own political gain. So that you'll say, well, I had to make sure and stay good with this particular person, party, this group. When my government in power does make money, and they put you in that position. Instead, if you're empowered, you can make your own decisions. So it's not something you can paint with a broad brush.
That's true. That is so true. And I am too mine about it, and I'll tell you why. There are some people that need the program.
Yeah.
Because getting them situated just can't happen right now. They want to, and they have all the ambition in the world, but their needs are so immediate right now, is that they need that help right now. So how then do we determine who needs it right now and who can be channeled towards beneficial programs?
Well, I think even if you need it right now, give you right now, but what I'm giving you is something that you could take and grow with, so that you don't end up in that situation. You don't leave a legacy of children and offspring, brothers and sisters and family members who simply just thrive on that particular lifestyle. You know what I mean? And somebody just said on the WhatsApp, they're OJT, they're on the job training and stuff like that. But even in OJT, I went through OJT. Luckily, I made some proper steps at OJT.
Met the right people. And Maureen, no, let me say something. Maureen Rosso is saying the baby grant is backward. It is not. And I'll tell you why it is not. In the United States, there is a program called WIC. If there is anybody listening to me from the United States, feel free to call in. It is for mothers who are on welfare. So when they get their funds from the state, one less thing they need to think about is buying milk and Pampers.
Right.
This food stamp, or WIC, is specifically geared towards getting the basic needs for the child, which would be the cereal, the milk, the Pampers.
Right.
That is what is the equivalent of this baby grant
is right.
So it's not backward. It is done in first world countries. I have personally seen it. I know people who was or is still recipients of WIC in the United States. And it helps, because a pack of Pampers in Trinidad may be $200 to $300 a box. Right?
Yeah.
A tin of baby milk, probably $200 a tin. If you get in welfare from the state, let's just say $600-700 a child. That's 2 less items you need to buy from this list. So it may not be outdated to the extent.
No, and there are genuine people who do need help, and you know, it have different programs. Like somebody just mentioned GATE, and every time I see GATE, you'll be surprised. I have benefited from GATE, but I still feel as though GATE left some holes in that GATE, boy. It had some big wrought iron holes in that GATE. It have people.
When you say it had wrought iron holes.
Wrought iron holes, big holes. It have people who use GATE, take the knowledge, take the information, get qualified, start up and jump out and gone.
And went abroad.
Some of them take GATE and went abroad and studied with the GATE outside and never came back. You remember it had a big thing about that, who was supposed to repay and that kind of thing.
A lot of these scholarship winners never retained.
And more than that, sometimes some programs make people complacent. So you find that we start to roll out endless graduates with little critical thinking abilities.
Because they only have book sense and no common sense.
And barely book sense. What they have is regurgitation. They were able to say, well, Karl Marx said so-and-so on the 15th day of April in September, and they could give you it verbatim. What does it mean, and how can you apply it to your job?
Okay, so Dylan Frank says WIC is also income-based, and you don't necessarily have to be on welfare to qualify. It provides milk, It provides only milk, whole grains, eggs, and small necessities, but it's not income-based. Thank you for that.
But it's income-based, so it's based on how much you have.
Maureen says, I
Pampers
know
or
of
Vicks.
WIC, Isha. They need empowerment, and ED Pierce saying, yes, she know of WIC. And Diana Bergen says, no Pampers on WIC. Thank you so much for that clarity. Like I said, I know people who's on it. I was never personally on it,
Right.
so I don't know the necessities. So yes, I stand to be corrected on the Pampers part. Thank you very much. But it provides milk and the necessities that the child would need. And in some instances, it's needed. It's needed. Let me see who's there. Final call as our countdown is on. Caller, you're live.
Aisha, glad I got the final call to tell Mr. Long Circular that if he feels disrespected by me for the elderly, then I'm really sorry, because my contribution is really geared towards your age in relation to your contribution, not really your age as an old man. I don't really disrespect old people. Trust me. In fact, I protect old people from young people who take advantage of them. So the fact that you dialogue and you sound strong as a 71-year-old, I am proud of you. But if you come on the radio and your contribution is one, I might say for an old man, you should know better. So if you're taking that personal, I'm disappointed in you because I thought you were really stronger than that. But I apologize. Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you, Rowley Jr. I could probably squeeze one more in quickly. About 30 seconds, caller.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I will always say it. The Syrian, the Chinese, all of them come here in this country and making it big. Some of the Indians come here and they're making it big through the government. We, the African people, why we can't make it big and we born and go here? Why we can't make it big too? All we have to do is just as a copycat and wait for somebody to give you something, and government to give you this and give you that. Sabra and them come here. I know when Najib come in this country, I am 77 years of age. I remember Najib and them used to walk around in the place, they're selling clothes, them and Abu and them, selling clothes for 3 cents and 10 cents. I was a little child, remember I used to buy it. And Africa in this country had to wait on government and only thieving and playing the fool in this country and waiting for handouts. Give me a break now, man.
Thank you, caller. So 30 seconds, X, you hit the road.
Yeah, just quickly, people. I mean, we have to keep that in the front of our mind. I will try to go through these manifestos and break them down. We're looking for what it have that we need. And we pass box drain and we pass just handouts. Let me look for something more. You want to get discipline, you want to get some patience, you want to get tolerance, you want to get productive.
I'm out of here, people. Until tomorrow, have a good one.
They talk.
You talk. Come talk with us. On the street.
919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Get interactive with the Street 919 FM.
All day, every day. See us all live on our Facebook page.
Share and comment on our show.
Like our page.
Chat with our live on-air announcers.
The Street 919's Facebook page.
Live and interactive all day, every day. The Street 919 FM.
Come talk with us.
As the election race heats up, the UNC is turning up the temperature. Ready to govern, ready to lead, and ready with the best candidates.
After almost 5 years, almost $300 billion, more citizens are struggling to survive than ever before.
With political leader Kamala Prasad Bisasa and the leaders of tomorrow.
The UNC Master Plan has 5 interconnected guiding principles, which constitute our strategy for recovery, growth, and diversification.
Join our virtual campaign platform Thursday on this station. The United National Congress. Now is the time.
The Trinidad and Tobago General Elections 2020 is here on the Street 919 FM.
I have advised Her Excellency the President to dissolve this Parliament at midnight tonight. Nomination day, Madam Speaker, would be Friday, 17th of July, and polling day would be August 10th, 2020.
And the Street 919 FM is proud to defend the nation yet again for another general election.
Tune in daily to hear your candidates and supporters live on the only station that gives you a platform for expression.
This is the General Elections 2020 on the Street 919 FM.
Real talk from real people
on Real issues that affect you.
No one talks politics like us. From the Parliament to the Promenade. This is the 2020 general election in Trinidad and Tobago. Right here on Street 919 FM, the home of the 2020 general election.
I wish all my colleagues in this house a safe, happy, enjoyable, productive campaign.
Tobago is like one big happy family, and in this time of pandemic, our family values have never been stronger. We are stronger together, Tobago, and together, with a name you can depend on, we are moving into the new normal with quality food from Chef and Barbecue.
On mornings when I'm on my way to work, I like to pass by Chef's and BBQ for a hot cow heel soup or a bacon saltfish to start my day. And now I hear breakfast is $20. And then me I go. The staff nice too, you know. Hello. Chef's is the place to go.
Chef and Barbecue is renowned in Tobago for home-style cooking using the best Tobago has to offer and more. Visit a Chef and Barbecue near you today and get that home-cooked meal you've been missing. Call to order and pick up your meals hot and ready at Chef's and Barbecue. There's